Hi y'all, this is Daisycakes and it's another Goth Thursday. Hope y'all are ready for it. It's very interesting times for me. This is the first daytime one I've done. I might be waiting until darker to film it, but you can tell I have my red and my green on. I just need to blot my lipstick on my welfare card, I guess. I meant to go darker with the lipstick. I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe I should go glossy. Let's pause it. Okay. I'm still learning about the goth thing, y'all. I think I channeled like 80s rocker hairband kind of thing. But that's okay. This is actually the color of my lips. I don't actually have any lipstick on my finger. See? No lipstick on the finger. So this is actually the color of my lips. When you see them other colors, it's because I have to put like nude lipstick on and then put gloss on to get that kind of skin color. I don't know why. So I'm going to tell you a story. Now the story is kind of a scary story, so it's good I got my scary makeup on. But I was going kind of Christmassy. Like this is gold, and this is green, and I'm wearing red, and I have mauve blush on, which I'm not believing is mauve. On me it comes out pink, but you know, I usually don't go with the pink for obvious reasons. It kind of gives me this overall sort of like rocker chick vibe. So like this video if you like this. This is like the darker side of Daisy, but she usually doesn't come out in the daytime. So Daisy's the night owl. I don't know if you know that about me, but I like the evening times. Okay, so let's see how much we get done on this thing. I actually wanted to record this before. I had to reset my device, and I wanted to record this before I downloaded all the stuff back on my device so I'd have room for it first, because it's going to be a thing. But I'm going to tell you a picture story, and I have my tablet right here, and I'm going to use it. And remember, my eyebrows go up when I get teachy, so I'm going to try to keep them down. And I have like kind of a teachery way about me, so try not to let it get to you. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm doing my best to kind of be like an adult to adult person, but that's really difficult for me because my normal age group, y'all, is 5 years old. 5 to 8. And I do the Dora the Explorer blink because, as I'll tell you, one of my big tenets of behavior for adults, children, and teenagers is that you always give people a chance to think about what you're saying after you say it. But for me, it kind of looks like a Dora the Explorer blink. So that's not good. But are you ready? Okay, here's the story. Yesterday when I was going to the bank, something really weird happened. I don't know why this thing is like creeping up on my face. Something really weird happened. And I still don't know if it was someone jealous of me that was trying to be mean to me. But you know what? I was supposed to be at the bank today again, and I had to cancel my appointment. First of all, because I didn't know I was supposed to talk to Snowman, but it fell through today. He might think this is a little bit too much makeup, maybe. But I was supposed to talk to Snowman today, and it fell through. But that's okay because it's the holidays. I kind of expected. And what else? Oh, and then something happened yesterday that made me kind of wary of going to the bank because I don't know what people are doing. But someone here is angry and nonverbal and non-communicative and violent. And I might be making something out of something that's not that bad. But I think women should be careful to downplay things that are unusual in their environment because my theory, I'll tell you my Walmart theory. My Walmart theory is if you drop a tent over Walmart, if something happens to you, okay, like what happened to me today or yesterday, and you drop a tent over Walmart on a Saturday afternoon, and you can't find one person in that Walmart that's also had that happen to them or had a good outcome, then that's a serious matter. And I truly believe that. That's like my real belief. So, like for example, my ex's house burned down all of a sudden. And 2 of our dogs were killed in 2019. Again on July 29th, y'all. Weird. And so it was 29/19. And I wasn't even expecting it because I had moved 450 miles away. And I really thought that would end the stalking. But they moved up here and followed me. And kept doing all this weird crap. And then his house burned down. And we're still not sure what it's related to, that event. It was really scary. But if you drop 10 over Walmart on a Saturday afternoon, you won't find very many people whose houses have burned down. I mean, that's a big deal. That's when I know I'm not imagining it, and it really is a big deal. That's like one of my barometers from when I was younger that I used to use to decide, is this unusual or not, Like I have a stalker that dresses like me and tries to look like me, talks to the bank like they're me, talks to like my family like they're me, tries to get in my family album and stuff like that. That's unusual. You won't find very many people in Walmart on Saturday that have that happen to them. But anyway, enough about Walmart on Saturday. More about that another day. This is what happened to me. Okay? So, I was trying to think. Okay, I had an appointment at the bank. So we're talking about, I think it was the 17th. I think it was the 18th. So we'll say, I'll just say Tuesday. Just make sure so I'm making mistakes right now. Tuesday. And I can write backwards, y'all. It's a little freaky thing. Tuesday, December 18th. Okay? So, now, I had an appointment at the bank. So, I'll say bank appointment. And it was a big deal for me. So, I got dressed up. Didn't put on my goth makeup. And I had another one today, but I had to cancel it because of this and other things. I didn't know for sure someone was going to reschedule, like I said. So I was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. No goth makeup tomorrow either. But anyway, I got dressed up and I went to the bank. And I locked my door. So I put on my going outside outfit. Now I used to get harassed on the street a fair amount. And so I started wearing an outfit, which is like a hat and a gray jacket. Okay. Oh, and sunglasses. And I go to the bank. Every day I go out, I pretty much wear that. So if someone, because my daughters used to be on this Facebook page, or MySpace page, or it's hard to explain. And they would accept pictures of me from anyone because they were mad at me. And so they kind of cultivated getting weird pictures of me from people. So I learned 2 things: to always be aware of what you look like 360 degrees, which is not always easy to do, and to wear the same thing when I go outside every day. So I do pretty much wear a yellow hat and a gray jacket and sunglasses, unless it's a special occasion. So I wore my little uniform over my nice clothes and I went to the bank. And part of my outfit is a backpack. Okay? Because in my backpack, and it's like, 35 pounds. Okay, it's a huge backpack. And so I have to wear it though because it's full of things I would miss if I came home and found them missing, like the laptop and stuff like that. Although I haven't looked everywhere for it still. This apartment is small, but it has lots of little hiding places, but I don't think it's here. Which is just devastating for me because I'm not thinking about it today. They always try to ruin my Christmas. I don't know why. It's weird. But anyway, so it's like they're punishing me for giving them money for rent, which is weird. Every month, towards the end of the month, someone comes in and they steal things like Velcro hands. And then they run out. And it was this one woman and her kids. And then she left. And now, I don't know who it is, but it's someone that's just really weird. And so sometimes when you get your stuff back, it has like ringworm and stuff on it. I don't know. Anyway, enough for that for another time. So I was going to the bank in my clothes. And, let's see, I live in an apartment that looks like this. Okay? So here, well, it's too far. Here is my door. There's my door. And here is the part of the apartment that goes towards the staircase, right? And here is the landing. And then down here, there's stairs like this. I have one stalker that lives right here. And I have another one that lives this way. And one that lives this way. Okay. So anyway, I locked my door. I had my backpack on my back, right? Then I locked my door and I went around this way. Now, here's the smoking area. And I love the smoking area. I don't mind being next to it at all. I don't care how much people smoke. It's great. But back when Christian was trying to restrict access to me, he would take away the chairs. There used to be tons of people out there. And he would take away the chairs and the tables so that people couldn't stand there. And then eventually he just left it blank. So now people only stand there like when they're waiting for somebody to drive up or whatever. Kind of a Romeo and Juliet type situation. But they don't loiter there anymore, which is kind of sad because I didn't mind them as long as they weren't trying to come in my apartment. And I did have people break in my apartment that would hide there, kind of, but until I left, But that's rare. Back then, that was rare. So, but these days, okay. So then there was a girl that lived next door to me over here, and she's real sweet. Her name's T, and she works at a restaurant downtown, and she's great. I should go see her. And right here, she had a little mason jar that has cigarette butts in it, right? And so we put another mason jar out there for people to use. But this one's dirty, y'all. And the mason jars are significant. So in here, let me think. Oh yeah, in here I have one mason jar with flowers in it. Okay. Come talk to your little flower. Because I like roses. Could do a little better. Okay. Because I like roses. I have roses every time I record. I buy them from Walmart. Whenever I work, I reward myself with flowers. It's a long story. It has to do with the past. And it's just a little treat I give myself. I used to grow them. And I had my house full of them. And I gave them to all my friends and neighbors and stuff. I just love them. So I usually have red ones, but also white ones and like peach ones and all kinds of roses. So I had a mason jar in here, but it broke like 2 weeks ago. And I put it out in the trash. And it came back. The bottom of it, the broken, jagged bottom of it, showed back up on my, where was it? It was right here by my cooler. And it was just sitting there. And I know I had thrown that away because I'm always really careful about the cat's paws, right? So then, it's just so scary because that means they were in here. Don't forget that detail in this whole story. So then, I threw it away again. Took it out with the trash yesterday. And when I did, I joked to myself out loud, but still quietly. But I don't think anybody heard me. That's not the point. But I said, I wonder if he's going to break his mason jar to match, because he walks by every morning at like 7 in the morning and checks out my apartment to see if it's different or whatever on his way to visit his friend. So I was like, well, I wonder if he's going to break his, right? But I never thought anything about it after that. That was like last Tuesday. So then I'm going to the bank and I'm standing here, locking my door, and I have my backpack on my back, but I'm facing the other direction. I'm over here. And I have my backpack on my back. It's different. And I'm standing here. And I'm locking my door. And I continue walking again around this way, right? Like I said before, this way. And I start going down the stairs. And the stairs are here. So you turn here and you start going down the stairs this way. Okay? And I get to here. So I'm here. And my backpack's here behind me. And I'm still continuing down the stairs. And I'm on like the 3rd step. And I'm only 5'5", y'all. And a foot or a hand reached out from up here and knocked the mason jar off the back of my backpack. And y'all, it wasn't there. And I do have balance, so it managed to stay on my backpack from here to here. And it would have stayed probably all the way, halfway to the bank, because I use the backpack for muscle building kind of, and I don't really move around a lot. Like when I'm walking, I don't bounce because I used to run, and I also weight trained. I was doing that bikini competitor training a long time ago. Almost 10 years ago now. And so I don't really bounce up and down. It's not good form. I always try to have really good form. So it could have stayed on there forever. And I guess he was afraid it was going to, I guess the crazy criminal guy who does not forget to do this at all, you'd have to be nutty. But I guess he was afraid that it would break in the parking lot down here. And he didn't want it to do that. So we're on the sidewalk. He wanted it to break in this area where people don't usually walk unless they live here, right? And so he knocked it off my thing. And it slid over my shoulder and down my body and landed on my foot, which was right here on the 3rd step, and then it fell off and shattered into a million pieces. And some big pieces. And I was on the way to the bank, and I thought, okay, I'm going to cut my hands, which is not good for me anyway. And God knows what kind of germs there are, and I'm going to be late. So I walked into the next parking lot, the bank, this bank, which is not my bank, but I walked into this bank's parking lot, and I was like, can you I saw this really nice guy, and I just ran up to him, and I was like, help, and he's like, what? And I said, well, I just made a terrible mess. Because I was still thinking that, I didn't make the mess, but I took responsibility for it. I was like, I made a mess. I need you to use your phone and call, because the sign for the apartment complex is way out here, and it's like this big kind of square sign, and the phone number's on the sign. So I was like, I need you to call that phone number and ask them to clean that up as soon as possible, because I'm afraid someone's going to cut themselves, and I can't wait. I have to go. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll do that. So he did. And when I got back, it was all cleaned up. Every piece. But it's really crazy because this guy, this is kind of messy. Let me fix it. I should insert Christmas carols here, but it's not going to take that long for me to draw it again. So this guy is like too much. Now it's in the middle. It's not gonna work. Move it over. Okay. So this guy, he could have. This is a staircase, okay? That's a staircase. Okay, this guy could have. He was obviously he put it on my backpack right here. That's the first option. Or, well, no, I mean he had to put it on my backpack at some point. But he either hit it off or kicked it off. But I saw a flesh like out of the corner of my eye. I wasn't sure if it was a hand or a foot, but I saw like human flesh, like a flash of clothed blue jean t-shirt wearing like a polo shirt wearing flesh. So he meant to aggress on me, like deliberately aggress on me in some kind of crazy way. And I don't know what that means. So, I mean, I like to think about these things, probably too much, but I like to, have something to talk about with y'all. But also, I mean, it's kind of a warning too. I mean, I don't think it's a warning for me. I don't know what it is. These guys in this level, sometimes they can be a little drug-addled, a little psychotic. I mean, they get dressed and they run down the hallway and they dress like, I mean, it's okay to dress like a woman if you're a guy. And it's okay to dress like a man if you're a woman. But it's not okay to be unstable about any behavior, no matter who you are. And these people, I mean, I don't know what it means. And it's rare for me not to understand human behavior. So I thought that was interesting. Because I wasn't, normally I expect it. Like if I'm in my apartment, I expect there to be guys acting like a fool outside my window. Nicely. Sometimes to give me content, even on purpose, and sometimes not. Sometimes just because they're not well, basically. It's not old lady, y'all. But sometimes I expect that, and I expect if I'm on the street and a car drives by slowly, that they're going to say something to me. I expect that. And I expect that if I talk to a guy for a while, he might start liking me. Sometimes it makes me be a little bit more aggressive about, making clear my boundaries maybe before I need to. But, I mean, still, like, those things you expect, but that you don't expect. And it almost seemed like a woman. Because mason jars, women love mason jars. Women are all about the mason jars. So I thought that was kind of weird. Because I was just happy living my life. Leaving my apartment, locking my door. And they got close enough behind me to put something on my backpack. And I didn't even know. They could, like I keep saying, I could die, y'all. But, I mean, it just takes a split second to attack someone. And that's an odd way to enter someone's personal space. I mean, there's a woman here that does like to walk really close to me. And she'll usually follow me for a while. And then she'll say, excuse me. And she'll, push past me. Kind of aggressively also. But at least she makes it known. Like, hey, I was behind you and you didn't know. So now I'm pushing past you so you know I was there. Like, that's like a whole thing that she does. But I don't think it was her because she works during the day. And then there's Kay, the DoorDash woman that's probably a really good DoorDash driver, y'all. But I just don't have her as my DoorDash driver because she resembles my attacker. And she took that personally. And she's been kind of healing in her car. She drives a gray crossover, I guess I'll say. And she kind of heals at my heel when I drive. Her mom used to do the same thing. And I'm used to people doing that to me. Not because I'm gorgeous or anything, because I am certainly not, but because that's just how people treat me, I guess, because I'm accessible to them. So I don't really notice it, but I register that that car is following me. And her car does, in the parking lot here especially, tend to kind of trail me around. And remember, I haven't been going anywhere because of the attacks. Made me nervous. Because I feel like I have defenses in my house, but I don't really feel that full of defenses in the parking lot. But I'm getting better at it. It's just, I could take showers now without filming myself, as I haven't posted those in a while. Because it was drawing people acting up on purpose, which was sweet, but I didn't really want our channel to be about that, so I stopped filming myself as much. But I still keep cameras running just in case for security reasons, right? So, what else? Oh, so I can take a shower now without worrying, knock on wood. And I can, do stuff without caring about other people watching me through the window at night, sleep. Although I still wake up when there's someone staring at me. But anyway, it's better. It's like a zombie game, kind of, because they all have zones. It's really weird. There's people that aggress on me on this floor, but they don't aggress on me in the parking lot or on the street. There's people that aggress on me in the street, but they don't come on the parking lot premises. There's people that, it's just hard to explain. There's people that drive around the parking lot after me, but they rarely come to my apartments. And the only one I can think of is the key guy. He does kind of resemble my attacker. Remember, my attacker was made up in zinc oxide, and it's hard to tell what he looks like really. And but he does kind of resemble him, and he sort of does come up behind me and aggress on me when I'm walking around. And he's got to be 35 though, so a lot younger than me. But he does come up behind me and yell at me. But I've explained that to the office. I think they talked to him. It hasn't happened in a while. But it could have been him. Because it's just opportunity, that split-second moment when you're behind someone. But then there's the mason jar, see? If he'd pushed me, then I would know that was just a crime of opportunity. And actually, I wouldn't worry then so much. Because those hardly ever... That might be a sign that's danger, but it wouldn't really be something that you would expect to repeat. It's more like an opportunity thing. But the mason jar means that he had the same groceries as me, and it was a brand new mason jar. So a lot of people have them, may not mean anything. But that he had it with him. And it wasn't full of liquid. It was empty, brand new, clean jar. And it looked almost like he picked it up off the backpack and held it out and dropped it deliberately. I mean really fast. It looked like it fell off the backpack. But I saw his hand, so I guess he must have just knocked it off towards this way. He knocked it off towards himself, right? And that's weird too, because I was saying, he could have, here's the landing, right? Here's the staircase. Okay, he could have knocked it off this direction onto the sidewalk below. If it was an accident, that's probably, because this is sloping towards the driveway, right? Up here, the landing slopes down because of water. So if he dropped it accidentally, it would have rolled it towards the driveway off the edge of the balcony. So what he did was he literally knocked it, or he could have knocked it backwards away from me towards the mailboxes, right? But he didn't. He knocked it on top of me. And it might have been C too, who's kind of seems like there's like an angry energy. But everything's fine. I just want to document it. I wasn't sure the best way to document. I want to document it in kind of a light-hearted way without being ridiculous, which I'm always a little ridiculous. But I wanted to document it in a light-hearted way because it might not be so light-hearted. But there's a couple guys here. The key guy is one. There's a guy I used to work with who works down the street, whose name is T, and he is also another one. And then C. They move very quietly. They're very fast and very quiet. I don't always hear high frequencies, which is weird because I know I sing really high. But I don't always hear all of the high frequencies, like very high frequencies. But I usually don't miss people walking up behind me. I've had people do that to me before. Like one time in Dollar General in my old town. I don't know, people are either jealous or upset with me. I'm not sure why. But in my old town, I was paying at Dollar General, and this Latina woman from my elementary school, who isn't the same woman that I was mentioning before, but a different parent, not a parent of my children that I taught, put one of those soft rose-colored tarantulas in my purse. I had like an open bucket bag kind of purse, and she put a tarantula in there. Now they're trained, they're pets, and they don't bite, and she picked it right back up again. But she literally put it into my purse. And so when I reached for my, you're going to learn something new about Daisy, which is funny. But when I reached for my wallet or my money, it crawled up my arm. Now, here's the thing. Daisy doesn't mind reptiles. So when I saw it, my brain was like, oh, it's a tarantula. And I just put my arm out and it jumped. I was like here, and I took my wallet and I turned my arm this way, and it fell off onto the cashier counter, and she just scooped it back up. It was her pet, I guess. But I took that as an aggression as well. I don't think it was a crime of opportunity because she knows me, but that doesn't always mean it's not a crime of opportunity. There's just weird things happen to me like this. Like these women, they just do odd things. Like I've had my tires slashed. I've had all kinds of things. I've had my tires shot out twice. I've had like 3 times. I've had a lot of things happen to me, which is kind of weird. But I mean, that's just, I'm an older woman. I like to do things, and so I have experiences. But I just can't believe it. So it kind of reminded me of the tarantula thing. Because I was like, well, if there's a tarantula, I mean, if it's a mason jar and he put it inside my backpack, well, that would have made sense. But I always keep, come here. Okay. I always keep my backpack closed, y'all. I always keep my backpack closed, locked if I can. But I keep it zipped because people will sneak up behind me. And then I can hear them, y'all. But they do sneak up behind me and try to take whatever's on the top. So I was putting mail or like old junk mail or paper towels on the very top of my bag when you unzip it, so that's what they grab first. So it gives me a minute to adjust. Because it's only happened twice, but I mean, you can't really afford to lose like your wallet and stuff. It's weird. And I asked for my key to be changed 3.5 weeks ago, and it hasn't been. So it's possible he is involved somehow, maybe. because he shouldn't be invested in whether my key gets changed or not. Because of, November, everything was great, and there's no reason to not change my key. But anyway, so that's all interesting. I don't want to malign anybody I don't know because I don't know him. But it's just weird. Like, because somebody came in here and had sex, like not 8 inches away from me. And they threw me around too, but didn't have sex with me. They like took my head like this and turned it towards the camera so people could see that I have a mole here, and they leaned me over different things and took pictures of me to try to scare someone. I don't know who. Me, obviously, but also other people, I guess. And it was crazy. And that guy is out there somewhere, really close. And it's probably him, because what I'm saying is we all have a personal space boundary, right? That's 3 feet or like 18 inches. There's one at 3 feet, there's one at 18 inches. And then there's you, And who you let through those boundaries matters. Once people cross those boundaries, they tend to cross them. That's why people have sex with their exes. That's why people, feel a feeling when they're near someone that they've been intimate with before. And this guy isn't rational. So it's obvious that he feels like he's crossed a boundary and he can come in my apartment or like manhandle me whenever he wants to a certain extent. Although maybe he moved with C and it's changed. But I sure would like to know where that guy is, because that's scary. Because I'm very careful about that boundary. I'm careful about the 3-foot boundary, or like the, initial boundary. So I just don't know what to think. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. So just a recap, TLDR, I guess. The craziest thing happened to me when I was going to the bank. Someone put a mason jar on my backpack, and when it didn't fall off, I was looking at my door because my door is like right there. But when it didn't fall off, because I have good balance and my upper body doesn't move when I walk, the guy knocked it off as I came level with his foot on the landing, and it shattered at the foot of the stairs and made a terrible mess. And startled me because I could tell from how it like came around my neck and like slid down that it had been on my backpack and wasn't just sitting there. And I mean, it wasn't dropped. Like he didn't drop it off the balcony to hit me, although he could have. But my guess is that he knocked it off because he realized it was going to fall in the parking lot and someone would get in trouble, and they'd probably check tape and stuff. So he, plus it's harder to sweep up in the parking lot. So he wanted it to fall on the concrete. And he might have been trying to knock me down as well, because my backpack did move, but I was already stepping down, so I knew, I could have missed a step and been fine. But it's really difficult to know what that means. I just want to leave it here. I don't want to keep saying it over and over again and keep saying I want to leave it here. But I do wish I could just like hand this to the general public and be like, please help me understand. Because like I tell you, I've been treated like a mushroom for a long time. I mean, people have told me. They tell me that they're guys, mostly, also women though. But they tell me that they're law enforcement. They tell me that they're in the mafia. They tell me that they're in the Mexican mafia. They tell me that they have, and I mean like not really. I know people that really are. Those are not the people I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about pawn type people. So they tell me that they're law enforcement. They tell me that they're in the Mexican mafia. They tell me that they're in MS-13. They tell me that they're in the real mafia. The actual mafia. The Italian mafia, I guess you would say. They tell me all of these things. And very little in life impresses me. Which is funny. And I don't know if I want that life. But it's odd that people think I want something. But like I said, I grew up like a combination of Meadow and Janice. I really did. And so it does and doesn't. It's not what I was looking for personally. It would depend on the person, you know? I mean, I go for people that can take care of me and my family, my girls mostly, that can make their lives easier, that can be fun to be around, that have like smart, creative ways of looking at the world. That's what I go for. I don't go for criminals usually all the time. Although that has happened before. So I don't know what to say. It's weird that they think that impresses me. They probably use that line on everyone, and I just fall for it because I have these big blinky eyeballs that people just seem to think that they can fill with bull. But it's okay. I wonder, though, what's next? Because the holidays make people crazy. And this place is emptying out, too. I'm pretty sure I'm okay. I just wanted to tell you that story time because, I don't know. It's like nothing but something at the same time. It's like not nothing, but it's enough of something that it kind of worries me just a tiny bit. Because normally people, I don't know if you've ever been at your apartment door, locking your apartment door, but people usually walk past you, behind you. They don't stop and do things to you. And I have video of these same guys. Like when I open my door, I have video of them coming in my door for DoorDash. Like when I open my door, someone else, a third person, will come around the corner and come in my apartment. And I'm always like, GTHO of my apartment. Nicely, get out of my apartment. And or I step outside if I really don't think they'll leave. And it's only happened like maybe 3 or 4 times that it's been an actual physical person and not like a will-o'-the-wisp or a limerence or something, but like an actual physical person. But you can't imagine a mason jar. And my backpack was flat on my bed, and I put it on my back, and I put my hat and sunglasses on, and I walked out of the door. So there's no way to balance a mason jar on it. And he wasn't in my apartment, thank the Lord, because he knocked it off of my thing on the stairs. And the scary thing, and you don't know this maybe if you're not, someone that's... Here's the thing. When you're attractive, and I don't know if I'm attractive, whatever. It depends on what the malware does to my face today. But people, you get used to a certain amount of conversation when you go out and do things, right? And you get used to a certain amount of people. Like I've been in line and had people like pick up my hair and stuff and just start looking at my hair. I don't know why. You get used to a certain amount of oddities, and I attract more than most because I'm a kind of person that likes people. I like all kinds of people. So I've had things where I'm conversing with a guy in line, and I walk out of Walmart and I take like 500 steps, and he's still behind me. Like that's happened before too, but it's never a big deal, But this just felt weird. Like, how many of you, if you were standing at your apartment door and someone walked behind you on one side and didn't come out the other side, like, wouldn't you think that was weird if they stopped and stood behind you and then followed you? And he wasn't following me. He was watching me walk down the stairs. Or she. It felt kind of like a woman thing to do, but it wasn't a woman. It didn't look like a female, like dressed like a female. And I hate to say that. They were wearing khaki pants and shoes. Dark blue jeans. But they were wearing like, kind of like unremarkable clothing. Because it was out of the corner of my eye, and I'm not wearing my glasses right now because my vision changed when I, when you get older, you need glasses for reading. Well, my glasses, my regular vision got like 300 times better. So I can see most things pretty well when I go outside and stuff. I could almost see well enough to drive. But peripheral vision in the back, like, over 180 degrees isn't the best without my glasses on. Well, without contacts on, I guess I would say. So, I don't know. My bag was zipped. When I got a safe distance away, I did check, and my bag was still zipped up on the top, and all the pockets were zipped, so that's good. So it really was just sitting on top of my backpack. Or he tried to put it on my shoulder, and it slipped. It felt like it kind of slid around my neck, but that could have been a tape. It's so gross. Anyway, I'm not going to upset myself. So that's a little story time for Goth Thursday. And I'm sorry it's daytime Goth Thursday and Christmas colors, but it's fine. And I have a really dark lipstick, but for some reason it looks like my regular color got stained by the dark lipstick, and now it looks like that kind of carnation pink that I usually do not like to wear. So, Norbert is the Norbertest Norbert that ever Norberted. So we would like to wish you a happy holidays, and I hope that you're doing well. And I'm sure that I'll put up a holiday message later on that will be acceptable to hopefully Snow and myself, because I don't know if this would be. But anyway, it's a sad day, y'all. When you can't, I was doing so well at getting over getting attacked, But there's some criminals out there, they just want consequences. They don't want to get ignored. No, they don't. When they hurt Norbert, they want attention. Yes. And even bad attention is better than no attention to these guys. No. Those are too many kisses. Oh, funny. He's a little affectionate today. Okay. He's giving me side eye. But anyway, it's like, I'm very grateful for y'all, for my viewers. I know if anything happens to me, I've given y'all enough information to know where to start looking. And I hope that y'all are doing okay. And that you're having a safe and happy holiday season. And Norbert and I say hello to my friends and family, but like I said, I'll post another holiday message later. It probably won't have Norbert in it. No kisses? No kisses. No biting. You don't bite. Those are big kisses. He hasn't quite mastered the whole kissing thing yet. He's a sweetie. So anyway, love y'all. Wish y'all the best. And hope that you're doing okay and that you'll stay safe yourselves. But if it helps you, kind of keep an eye out on who's walking behind you and doesn't keep walking. It's so crazy. I mean, who does that? It's like if you're standing still doing something like gardening and somebody walks behind you and doesn't keep going, you would notice that. I mean, it's kind of creepy. And maybe me saying that because there's people from my apartment complex, which is great normally, y'all. But there's people from my apartment complex that might hear this and be like, oh, I saw that, or I saw him, or whatever. And he might have even cleaned up the mess, which is interesting. Anyway, take care, y'all, and good luck to you. And I hope that life treats you well today and this weekend, because y'all stay safe. It's going to be a busy weekend, a fun one. So thanks, y'all.